and gentlemen. I'd like to open this up with a statistic. The United States is the most powerful nation in the world. We have the most powerful military arsenal in the world. But we have become 27th in education. We're progressively getting more and more done. But never fear, because we are #1 in confidence. It is reasons like this that we are going to fall behind all the other countries in the world. To begin with, let's think about what happens when a child is struggling a little bit in school in the United States. Come on, little Johnny, we believe in ya. Now, what do you think happens in China when Mei Ping doesn't do so well on her test? Get away from the rest of the kids. You are putting them down. Go over there and make some shoes. Now, I'm assuming that we set the tone for what this is going to be about. In the United States, our children are just being dumbified, for lack of a better word. So I'd like to take you on a journey through what our American society is doing to kids here, how I would raise my child, and some of my own experiences with children. This is Jim Jefferies, Fully Functional. Now, we've established that we are never going to hope to achieve what any of the other countries are doing. We're just on the fast road downhill. Now, I'll tell you here, I would love to be a father of my own, have a little child, a little daughter, Eliza. I've already named her. But I would not make a very good husband. So if I could just, marry a woman, let her have a child, and then if she could die, that would really help me out. Now, I'm not saying I'd die her. I'm not saying I'd kill her. I'm not an animal. But if she could just, have the child, raise it through those years where it poops in the diapers and can't really talk about anything interesting, the boring part. And then if she could just die. Now, obviously I'm not going to kill her, so what that means is I need to find and marry a woman with a terminal illness. Now, believe it or not, that market isn't as open as you think it would be. Because you'll find that the terminally ill are very self-absorbed. It's all about them, what they're doing. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to contract a doctor. So a woman can come in for some type of terminal ill cancer scan, and the doctor will just be like, nah, you're fine. Go have that extra double cheeseburger. You're doing fine, you look great. Don't even come back for years on end. And then I would pop in, take her home, marry her, get her pregnant, have a child, and then she could die. Now, then moving on. Me and my little daughter Eliza, we'd be so cute, just getting by. I bring her on the road because I just don't trust her with anybody else. There we are, sitting in the diner. The waitress comes by. She's hot, and I just go, no, Eliza, Mommy's never coming back. It's her first birthday without a mother. But I think someone could go for an ice cream sundae. There is not a woman in this room that does not want that man. Do you know how much instantly more attractive I become with a little daughter, Eliza? Sometimes, I think she takes care of me. Here's the reality though. If I had a child, I'd treat it just like I was raised. I'd beat the hell out of it. legs. Not two brothers, one brother, and two legs. Now, my brother has decided he doesn't want to go to school today. So he climbs under the bed, comes in, "Come on, pack your things, you're going to school." "No! Do not question me. F off!" Gunda was not having any of that. So she grabbed him, yanked him up, and shattered his shins against the door frame, against the bed frame. Yeah. That's about it. Now, moving on. So maybe I wouldn't be the best father, but I am the godfather to some children. And that's stupid. Because let me take you through the process. I come in, they say, "Jim, do you promise to spiritually guide this child?" "Why not?" And then he takes some water and he sprinkles it on the baby's head. Why does he do this? Because if you don't sprinkle water on this baby's head, if it dies before reaching a certain age, it burns in hell forever. Now, this may sound unpleasant, but let's just, think about this rationally. If a baby dies, then God's got to let it into heaven. And then he's got to let all the dead babies into heaven. And then sure enough, heaven is just full of dead babies. Now, I understand that was rather out there. And that for any of you who have maybe lost a child, I just reminded you of the worst event that has ever happened in your entire life. But if you are not smart enough to go and have a pedophile in a black dress sprinkle some water on that baby's head, what were you thinking? Finally, to conclude, my digestion on children. Let's return back to the whole confidence thing. We breed our children to be confident, but they're stupid. So, ladies and gentlemen in the crowd, I want your help. Only raise your hand if you believe this full-heartedly. Raise your hand if you truly believe that you have a stupid child at home. Well, the statistics are higher than that. And let's just see this. To prove the point, you want to know why China is taking ahead of us? They are first in education, and they are last in confidence. Who would you rather have building your car? Scared little worker? Or this? Perfect. That is the difference between our children and the rest of the world. Thank you very much for coming tonight. I hope you had a great time. Thank Ms. Hiesberger, Ms. Bowen, the entire debate forensics program. Everyone here is incredible. And if you haven't joined forensics yet, join so you can be more like me.